Alright, this one is going to be program number 2 for week number 6. This is again some switch cases, but in this one the purpose is going to be showing you how you can use multiple cases to drive the same result. So you could say, if this case or this case or this case or this one, do this action, or this case or this case or this case, do this action. So we're going to show you how you can use multiple different types of cases to do the same thing. So if you look at this program here, program number 2, this is what we're going to write. So let's get to this one. So looking at the way that it's actually shown in the slides here, there's a couple things that the way this one is done, it's kind of going back to the way we used to do things a while ago. So it is saying, let's do a character variable called ch, and a console write line that says enter a character. I forgot to put the quotation mark first. And then ch is equal to, and we're going to use convert to character console read line. Okay, so there's 3 lines right there. Now we've been writing these things a little bit differently in the last couple programs we've done. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. Actually, we'll just modify this one. So this one defines the character variable, or the character variable ch, and does a convert to character from that string that we read in. But what we can do, we've been seeing lately, we can do this all in one line for one thing, and then we made a kind of a habit in the last couple programs we've done using the parse command instead, which writes a little bit easier. Probably it's just a little bit easier on the eyes, probably. So let's just modify this. Either way is correct, but this is just a little bit more compact. And we'll just say char.parse. And that is basically doing the exact same thing. But let's try to be a little bit consistent with the way we write things. So we can either do the convert or the parse. They're both, as we showed in one of the previous videos, they're both essentially the same instruction. But it is nice defining this all in one line. It's one line less of code, a little bit easier to read, and let's keep a consistent way of how we're doing these things. So I'm just going to write mine like this. You can write yours the way it's shown in the slides. Perfectly okay. Either way is going to get full marks, but this is just the way I'm going to write it. And let's do the switch case. So we're going to switch based on this. And then let's get some brackets going here. Now we're going to say we're going to have case with a variable if our entry is A, or let's have a case with entry E, or case entry I. Remember, these are colons, not semicolons. Case entry O, case, entry U. All right. Let's copy all these down here again. Make sure we get the capital forms of these. So remember, characters, the small, the lowercase, and the uppercase are different. Line that up nicely. So if we get any of these, let's do a console right line. So what this is saying is that if you have this, or if you have this, or if you have this, or if you have this, basically any of these conditions, if they happen, we're going to execute what's going on in here. In the notes it says character is alphabet, so it should probably say character is a vowel, and then we do a break, and then we say we have a default condition. The character is a consonant. And that's going to be a break. And then we are outside the brackets, because the brackets are basically surround our switch. So that bracket lines up with that bracket. You can see how that line connects those two brackets together. And then down here, I'm going to do a console read line to hold up the screen. So basically, if any of these happen, we're doing this. If not, we're going to go to the default case and do this. So let's see this guy run. And there we go. Enter character. D. Character is a consonant. Enter a character. Capital E. Character is a vowel. Okay, so that is program number 2. That is showing how we can use multiple different cases to execute the same result. Okay, that's how that goes. I guess one other thing I should point out from this as well, there are some rules we should probably use when we're developing these as well. So just some good practice things here. So if you have a bunch of situations for your cases, try to put the most common situations first at the top of your list, and then less common in descending order. If you have a lot of them, try to do them alphabetically or numerically if there are a bunch of different numbers. So you can see in this case here we had all the different vowels. We did them alphabetically. It's a good way to do that so you can keep track of what's going on, especially if you have a lot of code. Like if this was 3 pages worth of code and you wanted to search through things, you can kind of figure out what it is you're searching for based on knowing that they're listed alphabetically. And then the default should always be at the end to handle any condition that you did not account for that could happen. Always let it go to a default condition. So if your cases don't get met, you're going to have a kind of a default to go back to in the end. Okay, so we're following these tips as well. So there we go.